for Donald Trump to be re-elected as president?
And a lot of people believe in President Trump, that he was going to make America great.
What will be the fate for the Middle East if he is re-elected?
Former President Trump was ahead.
Good day, my name is Muhammad Ihsan, and I'm here with Professor Naser Tahboub from the University of Jordan School of International Studies. So, Professor, I would like to talk about the U.S. election. What are your thoughts, or what are the chances for Donald Trump to be re-elected as president?
Oh, that's a very interesting question. In honesty, with the nomination of Kamala Harris and Tim Walz, the vice president, things have changed. About a week before the nomination, the polls that were conducted by a number of international organizations were showing that President Trump, or the former President Trump, was ahead. Now, what is happening is that with the Democratic National Conference that took place in Chicago, there has been dramatic changes. First of all, the Democrats have contributed a great deal of money. It seems that the new nominee, Kamala, has been able to attract a lot of women, young people, people of all races to support her initiative to become a president, her nomination. Things have changed, but one cannot underestimate the fact that former President Trump has a lot of supporters. And throughout the last so many years, he was able to attract many Americans and firmly believe in him that he was going to make America great. And considering, that in the last 2 decades, the cost of living has increased tremendously in the United States, there has been problems with the economy, and we're talking about the epidemic, that has had its impact upon the U.S. economy. And, he was able to convince a lot of Americans that he has some kind of an answer, a solution to their woes, to economic problems, to the fact that he wants to bring jobs back to America. That was very attractive. It's a good sell. And a lot of people believe in President Trump. They believe that the election has been stolen. Some of them believe that he should have been president. Now, the facts are different, and, those have been checked. And now, in the last 2 days, he seems to have accepted the fact that there was a fair election. But could he have an opportunity to become president again? The possibility is yes. It all depends on a number of factors, because the closer we get to November 15th, the better one person can judge whether Trump has a chance or he doesn't have a chance.
Okay.
Now, I guess next month, on the 14th of next month, he's going to have this meeting with Pamela, and discuss issues that are of relevance to the U.S. economy, to overall issues like interest rates and Federal Reserve Board and so forth. We don't know how they're going to do. It's going to be a tough one to win against Pamela.
Yes, Doctor.
Please go ahead.
Yes. You mentioned about jobs just now. So let's say if he's re-elected, what will be the relations between the United States and China?
Well, it depends, when you're talking about jobs, first of all, that we are expecting that the Federal Reserve Board in the next 12 months to bring about interest rates in the United States. It is expected. And I think this month already, or in the last 24 hours, there has been some figures that have been released where interest rates would be dropped. Now, if that happens, this could have a positive impact upon the economy. But then how does this translate to employment figure? Number of unemployed in the United States? We don't know. But it seems that the chairman of the Federal Reserve Board is bent upon reducing interest rates and ultimately to kick-start the economy again, despite the fact that the economy has been doing well and employment figures were good for the last 4 years under the Biden administration. But now this is the question of the China and American-Chinese relation. It's really an important one and has to be addressed. And it needs men of wisdom to manage the relationship between the Chinese and Americans, because now it is no longer a unipolar system. It is a a bipolar system where the Chinese and the Russians and the Americans are superpowers. All of them have got, strategic weapons.
Yes.
And it's not easy to decide that unilaterally you are going to challenge a major power like China. And it does not seem to be in the interest of the Americans or the Chinese to go into direct confrontation, despite the issues of contention such as Taiwan or the waterways around Southeast Asia or some of the islands that have been erected by the Chinese.
Okay.
But can there be enough wisdom, to make sure that they manage and they address those problems that will arise? In my judgment, I believe that they will. I think there is almost no likelihood for a direct military confrontation in the same form and shape like the Second World War, or those who are fortune tellers, they talk about a third world war. I think that's utter nonsense. We realize that after the Second World War, the Truman administration, the Eisenhower administration, they both adopted this policy of arms buildup and to use the concept of massive assured destruction, MAD, to contain Soviet expansionism after the Second World War. But that was managed, and both the East and the West, the leadership in the United States and in Russia, were able to manage their relations without any direct confrontation, because the direct confrontation between superpowers would be massive destruction. And this is unlikely to happen, since ultimately we feel that men who are decision makers of those superpowers will have the wisdom not to directly engage another superpower.
Now I will jump to the Middle East and Donald Trump. What do you think of the Trump's peace plan that he implemented in his first term, and what will be the fate for the Middle East if he is reelected?
You see, in this part of the world and all parts of the world, Latin America, Central America, and Africa, regardless of who is the president in the United States, they will have to interact and work out bilateral relationships between, let's say, a particular country in the Middle East and the United States. We might not see eye to eye. We might not agree with that president that is in the White House. Our relations might not be, or a certain Arab country or a Muslim country or an African country might not have the best relations with that particular president. But in the final analysis, we did not here in the Levant area look upon with favor at the initiative that he's proposed. People of the area were not consulted, and people in our region feel that there needs to be a just and lasting solution to the Arab-Israeli conflict, where all the people of the region live in peace in their own independent nation states on their own soil. So it is our hope that, men of wisdom, once they are in the White House and leadership around the world, they can communicate whereby, issues that has to do with the well-being of a nation and the future of generations to come will be taken in consideration and addressed. I think the only way is that we have to talk to each other rather than past each other. And it is, the United States is a country of great scholars, great scientists, and men of wisdom that can probably advise the president on a best approach to maintain and develop relations with countries of the world, including the Arab world.
Okay. Professor, thank you so much for your time.
Thank you, sir.